This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Pursue Fitness Sportswear, and I'm joined by former world cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson. Johnny, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Pursue Fitness Sportswear. You have come up in the world, my brother. You've done well there.
Obviously, we're down here in sunny London. The weather's been very lovely over this past week or so, but we are here for Saturday night. Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell. Everybody's billed it as a big ask for Luke. Is that how you see it? Do you see it as one of the toughest tasks out there?
It is a tough ask, and Lomachenko's proved that as a professional, he's very mature. He's shown 99% perfection, bar his one loss, and he looks unbeatable. Thank you. I just think for Luke, you can't write him off. And every fighter's got a chink, every fighter's got a bogeyman. I don't know if Luke's the man to find Lomachenko's. We never thought we'd see Mike Tyson's chink. We never thought, you can go on and go on and go on. I just don't want to be writing Luke off like everybody seems to be doing without saying it. Because Luke, I don't expect him to win, but I'm not saying it's an impossible ask.
So on the fight itself, I know your food just comes, so I've got you at the worst time possible. It's all right, Johnny, you're retired now, so you don't need to watch your weight. How do you see the fight playing out?
I think Luke will go out there with his game plan, which is to keep him long, set his own pace, give him angles, don't go back in a straight line. Lomachenko will take 2 or 3 rounds to try and figure Luke out. Now you've got two southpaws fighting each other, which southpaws hate. Luke is taller, he's longer. So again, when Lomachenko finds a reach, finds a timing, finds a distance, takes him 2 or 3 rounds, then he works to his plan. So can he get inside Luke? Has Luke got the footwork to negate and keep him long, keep him down, keep him low? If he can't, then he's up against another handful of awkwardness. But again, you've got two southpaws against each other. Most southpaws find it easy fighting orthodox fighters because most fighters are orthodox fighters. But southpaws against southpaws, they find it very hard to adjust. So let's see who out of the two of them who are just the easiest. I'd expect it to be Lomachenko because he seems to. I've seen some of the stuff he's doing in training, and it makes me smile when people say he's sparred with 3 people and we've done that, and that's how we did it in our gym. So if you're an orthodox and you have an unorthodox way of training, it's now all of a sudden it's a big deal. Like, oh my goodness, I'm like, we've been doing that years ago, and it shows me he's paid attention to things that most people don't, and that's why doing stuff like that, I'm thinking I'd expect him to pull it off because it makes you ring aware, makes you sharp, focused. You work on your footwork without even realising it. So a lot of things he'll do in the ring are natural. And it'll take many other fighters, coaches to see this. It's just an unconventional way of preparing for a fight.
Both fighters have shared the ring with Jorge Linares. Vasyl Lomachenko stopped him late on. Yep. Luke Campbell was lost by a split decision. However, it was a week or so after his father passed away, so obviously had personal circumstances to try and deal with. Who do you think would represent Lomachenko a tougher fight? The Linares fight, which has happened, or Luke Campbell on Saturday night?
I think Luke Campbell has shown that he will not be intimidated. He'll not be deterred. He showed a side to himself that most fighters would probably crumble under such pressure, especially with everybody in your hometown saying you're fighting the best in the world. I don't think that's going to make any difference to Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell will go and give it his best. So both fighters will go in and give it their best. I just don't know if Luke's best is good enough. It's going to take a career best performance from Luke, but it's also going to take Lomachenko to be a little under par. And so you've got to just get all the sun, moon and everything to line up at the right time. And can that be Saturday night? We don't know. We'll find out. It has happened. Again, we saw that with Joshua and Ruiz. He took his foot off the pedal. He thought this was going to be easy. He had to find out the hard way and learn a lesson the hard way.
I will touch on Joshua Ruiz in a moment or two, but we'll keep with his card. Hughie versus Alexander Povetkin as chief support.
I think Hughie wins. I think Hughie will be awkward enough because Povetkin is not. He's not a heavyweight you look at and think, wow, he's massive, he's strong, he's big. You look at Povetkin and think, you're like a cruiserweight, but he's strong, and that's why he's faster than the average heavyweight. That's why he's been a successful heavyweight. I actually think Hughie will win. I think if Hughie will win awkwardly on points, I'm actually going to put a bet on it.
So you're picking the bacon bits out of your salad here, Johnny.
Don't eat the swine, man. Don't eat the swine. I should have said before, but yeah. But yeah, I think he wins. I think it'll be a good one.
I mean, Charlie Edwards defending his world title against Martinez. Martinez defeating Andrew Selby last time out. How difficult a proposition do you think that will be for Charlie?
Tough fight. This is a mandatory challenge. So this isn't somebody he picked. This is his choice. So this will tell us if he really is world-class material. If he is a world-class contender, world-class fighter. If he beats the guy that they put in front of him, that they say, we choose this guy as your number one, the next in place, and he beats it, then you've got to give him credit. And look at him, and Charlie Edwards is one of the few fighters that, as a champion, he's so ambitious, so loves the game, so hungry, and I love it. I love that attitude.
Obviously, just to touch on Charlie, there's been a lot of talk about that potential fight with Calify. I know it wouldn't be unification because we're in two different weights, but if there was to meet, how do you think that fight would play out?
Well, Calify's been off the boil for a while, and I hear behind the scenes, Charlie Edwards is all wrong for Calify, but I rate Cal. So seeing is believing. I hear that, but seeing is believing. And it's a fight. I'm surprised it's not happened yet. It's a fight that should happen down the line. I don't know what Calify's doing now. Where is that?
Eddie said to me that the plan is for him to fight Estrada, the WBC world champion.
Good. I'm surprised Fry's not shouting him out as often as Edwards is shouting him out. So there may be some truth to it.
And then just to link back to this card once again, Josh Buatsi returns, the British hope of the light heavyweight division. Well, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of expectation around Josh Buatsi in the light heavyweight division. What are your thoughts on his bout with Ryan Ford?
So, I think domestically, the measure is between Buatsi and Yarde. And after seeing Yarde at the weekend, again, it's an intriguing fight between those two. Yarde took a gamble, stepped out of his league. For now, his current league. I'm not saying that's not going to be. He's shown that he has the cojones, he has the pedigree to go to that stage, but he's not got the experience. It's now made the public look and know a little bit more about Yarde. So potentially down the line, that's a good fight. And again, I'm no wiser. I don't know who'd win between the two of them. But I do think between Yarde and Buatsi, they're the best two in the UK.
A lot of criticism was thrown towards Tunde Ajayi, Anthony Yarde's trainer. What was your thoughts on the criticism?
What was the criticism you heard?
So the criticism I heard was some of the instructions that he was saying in the corner, for example, shouting lines in the camp, and a lot of people are relaying to me during my interviews they feel that he should have been giving him the instructions to tell him how to cope with Sergey Kovalev, to work against Sergey's game plan.
So I'm hearing different stuff.
Obviously the no sparring and all that.
Yeah, I was in a crowd of people. Now we get wisdom by experiences, good and bad. I personally, if I was with a coach and he wasn't telling me, give me instructions in the corner, he shouldn't be in my corner. David Beckham wouldn't be David Beckham without Sir Alex Ferguson. Prince Naseem Hamed wouldn't be Prince Naseem Hamed without Brennan Ingle. Ali wouldn't have been as successful as being as dominant without Dundee. Don't you tell me you've invented a wheel and I don't have to talk to this guy, because that's the same foolishness Chris Senior was doing with his son at one point. Now his son has had to pay the price at a higher level. So to me that's foolishness. No sparring. I don't believe that. I think he's just telling people that just to upset them so they have no idea and put them off. If it's true and he's having no sparring, was he injured? Because if he wasn't injured and he wasn't sparring, foolishness. So again, I'm only reacting to the rumours that are said to have happened. And if they're true, this is my reaction to it. So Tunde is a complex character, but let's not be fooled by rumours. Let's look on fact. So if this is factual and he's not sparring, and if it's factual and he's not giving instructions in the corner, then that's foolishness. I don't know what he's thinking. And as the next fighter, as the next champion, it won't work. And if Tunde's watching, I'm telling you, that won't work, and you have to find out the hard way. And if that is true, he's going to lose his fighter. His head will be turned to somebody else. That's going to happen down the line if it is true. So it's hard to comment on those things. If Tunde was sat in front of me and told me those things, I'd say, "Yo, you're going to lose your fighter, man. It don't work. I'm older than you and I'm more experienced than you, and I've been there. And I'm telling you now, this is what works for fighters. Don't tell me that what you're saying works. It doesn't. It doesn't work like that."
There's a couple of other fights I did want to touch on as well. Tyson Fury returns in 2 weeks' time against Otto Wallin. What are your thoughts on the selection of Otto Wallin as his opponent?
Well, unfortunately, with the heavyweights, especially in the top 5, top 6, 7, 8, they're all big fights, or they're all risky fights. And so, until the big fights are arranged, they've got to take over, they've got to fight somebody. And you're going to get criticism, he wasn't good enough, this, that and the other. I'm quite sure Anthony Joshua would have got that on the surface of things if he beat Andi Ruiz, but he didn't. You're going to fight somebody, and this is in preparation for his fight, his rematch against Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder gets through against, Ortiz. Luke Ortiz. Yeah.
Finally, to touch on, you just mentioned it, Joshua Ruiz, the rematch taking place in Saudi Arabia. What are your thoughts on that as a location?
Wow. It baffles me. I'm not a businessman, I'm a fan, I'm a pundit. There are reasons for it, but common sense tells me, one, with the heat out there, it would suit Ruiz more than it would Joshua, number one. Number two, my old trainer Brendan said, never talk sex, politics or religion. So the political complications of it being in Saudi Arabia, again, it puts you in the firing line. Number three, for some reason my gut is telling me, I wouldn't be surprised if the venue was changed, but I'm not saying it will, but in my gut, I'm thinking, if it's not England and it's not back in New York, why is it not Mexico? Why Saudi Arabia? Because fan-wise, when you're going out there to watch this, I wonder how awkward it is for men and women to get out there and watch this, the fans that want to watch this, because it's a big fight. So I don't know the logistics of that. So again, it's just a bit of an odd call. It's an odd one to fathom out. But next week, Joshua and Ruiz are doing a press tour, England, America, Saudi. So it must be true.
At the same time, you mentioned in your gut you feel like there's something that might not be completely there about it and completely true. What do you think would happen with regards to if, say, there was a change of venue or something? When would something have to be announced by?
Well, it have to be announced in enough time for people to change. Have tickets on sale yet?
Not working.
Right, so I suppose once tickets are on sale, it's a done deal. Once tickets are on sale, it's a done deal. There's no. So let's wait until tickets are on sale.
Will you be out there?
Hopefully, yeah. I've never been to that side of the world, so hopefully, yeah.
Well, Johnny Nelson, you got your salad in your hand now, and I have kept you for much longer than what you'd have probably liked. But as always, thanks for speaking to myself and Boxing Social.
Peace. Nice one every time.